Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So I'm going to try something way out of my comfort zone. I love orange and purple together, but they don't always be friends. So this is just a painting I'm doing to see if it works, and if it doesn't work, then oh well. No harm lost, apart from it teaches me. So anything that you learn, you know to do again or not do again. And that is my plan. So I'm going to do a flip cup. So I've always wanted to do purple and orange, but I've always been scared. And you know what, just do one, and if it turns out, then be happy. If it doesn't, then just work on something else. So first of all, I'm just going to put a bit of the light purple in the bottom. So this mixture is 100 grams paint, 30 grams floetrol, and 70 grams of my glue and water pouring medium. So I just wanted to see how this turns out, and I'm hoping for something cool, but you never always know. So I'm trying to layer this, but it wasn't layering very well. Probably because the cup's quite full and I'm having a little bit of difficulty. Let me lift it and see if... I don't think that's actually layering. I think that's just flopping in. It's quite thick, this mixture. I wanted to make it thick. Okay. And there's also 5 drops of helmar silicone in each cup as well. So I've used more orange than the original light purple. I'm going to add a tad bit of white next. And the white is 25 grams paint, 8 grams floetrol, and I made it the same ratio. So what's 25 minus 8? 25 minus 8 is 17 grams glue and water pouring medium. And they all have 5 drops of silicone. This one has 2. Now for the dark, it's just normal purple. It's really not layering as easy as I was expecting it to. Because the paints are heavy, they're sinking a little bit as they pour down. But like I said, this is a fun experiment to see if these colours actually are going to be happy together, or am I going to get a whole lot of mess and go, why did I just waste so much paint? But unless you have fun and try things out, you're never going to know. So that's why we experiment and have fun. Who knows, it could turn out to be absolutely awesome. So I'm doing 4 cups, a 4 cup flip cup. And I've used more paint than I normally do. I'm hoping if I tilt it less, I will get less mixing of paint, so the colours won't mix so badly. That is my theory. We will just have to see how it goes. And I was going to add black, but I'm actually not adding my mont black in flip cups at the moment. It's not behaving very friendly, and I'm not that pleased with. It's just giving me weird reactions, and I don't like it. And I'm not the only one who has noticed that too. Now just a tad bit of white. There's not a lot of white left. Probably could have made up a little bit more. But in total I've got 650 grams of paint. So there is a fair amount of paint here. And now the last purple colour. So sometimes you just have to say to yourself, this is not something I think is going to turn out awesome, but I would like it to and would like to try. And then just go for it and see how it looks. Because you will learn from doing that. And that was also the reason why I added floetrol as well and not just pouring medium. So when you add floetrol, it tends to keep the colours a little bit more separate and doesn't mix them too much. So I was hoping that by it being separate and not blending, I wouldn't get as much mud. But I don't actually know until I do it. So 4 cups. That wasn't the best flip. That was better. Okay, I got better as I went along. So now, because this paint is very thick, I am going to leave them there for a minute, for a minute to settle down, and hopefully the paint will come out a little bit better. I will find my gloves and put my gloves on. No, I've moved them again and now I've lost them. I don't know why I keep moving. Oh, they're right here. They've fallen upside down. So I do hope this one turns out well. I had a lot of issues with the last video uploading. I think my internet was playing up, so it wouldn't actually upload too well. Alrighty, hopefully this is enough, so let's flip. I'm liking it already. Just trying to get some of the last bits out onto, well, there was a fair bit in that one. Just getting some paint onto these corners, so then when I start tilting I won't have to tilt too much. Maybe I shouldn't have left those 2 bottom ones on. Okay. I've got quite a few cells popping up already. I am liking the colours, so that's a bit of a good thing. Now, paint is starting to drip off, so I am going to move the paint. And there is a lot of paint because I can feel how heavy this is. I'm going to have to go to this corner and go off the corner, bring it back, and then go off this way and off the corner, and then come back to the middle. Going to move the paint back down to this end, try and keep it even. I'm going to go off this corner first, so all the way over, come back, and now up this way. Over and come back. Bring my paint back down to the center. Now check my corners. Paint will drip off these corners a little bit more. Just need to get something on there. Okay. So I'm actually quite pleased with the colours. I don't think it has overly blended. You can see orange, you can see purple. There's not a lot of brown, which is the colour I was worried about getting. You've got some here, but that's actually not too bad. It's not an ugly brown. It's kind of a tanned purple would be the easiest way to describe that colour. Now I have to decide, do I leave it or do I try to create more cells by torching? And I don't think I am going to. I am going to scrape my edges now so I don't lose too much more paint, because I don't want to have my edges get too stretched with all this paint. So it's definitely heavier than what I'm used to working with. But in saying that, my cells didn't overstretch because I had enough paint for them to kind of flow a little bit. There's a few stretched ones here, but not terribly. So I do listen when I watch other people's videos. So Julie always uses more paint than what I would have thought to use. But she does get nice cool cells. So I thought I'll try adding more paint to mine and see what actually happens. Got paint going everywhere. So it doesn't really seem to be going over the edge. It's probably being quite balanced in by the weight of it, keeping it down into the middle. I am going to do a tiniest little bit of torching. And I'm going to be extremely careful about it. I'm going to torch from a very high spot and just see if I can get one or two little cells pop up. But I definitely don't want to oversell this. There's quite a few times where I've created cells, but I think I've created a few too many. And that's not something I want to do this time. I don't know if I'm even creating any, to be quite honest. I think I'm being a little bit cautious. Restraint for me is a little bit hard when it comes to cells because I like them, but I am learning, and that's all I can say for everyone. And everyone does like slightly different things. Some people prefer lots of cells, some people just want a couple. I don't think I'm actually creating any. I might have just created a couple then. Yeah, I just created a couple. But I think I may restrain myself and not do any more. Now put that where it's not going to burn anything at all. Alrighty, so I am pleased. I'm giving it a little blow with my mouth just to pop a couple of bubbles. There. They weren't really creating cells as in large cells. They were just popping bubbles and bringing out tiny little speck of colour from underneath. But I believe I am going to leave this the way that it is. I may try these colours again in the future and maybe torch a little bit more. But I'm trying to keep this a little bit more simple so I don't overdo it. Because I don't know how it's going to dry being so thick and quite a different mixture to what I was used to. But I do have cells. They have got multiple colours. So some of these in here I've got like eyes where I've got, that's got a white ring, then a little bit of brown, and then a couple of different purples. This has got orange, purple, purple. So quite multiple colours in these orange cells. Got a little squid happening over here. So I'm actually quite pleased with it. The colours didn't muddy up as much as I was expecting, so that is something I'm really pleased about. So I think my best bet is to just leave it, let it settle into itself, and see what I have in the morning. Now check my sides again, and it's not dripping on any side, so I'm not going to lose any more paint. It's just going to take time to dry. So being this thick, this is probably going to take absolute days and days to dry. But that might be fun. See what happens. I'll bring you down for a close-up. So that's what we have from my angle. And the colours in the camera are pretty good to what I see. Apart from, just don't worry about this little ring over this end. That's just from the light. I think if I turn it off, it will look very dark. It kind of goes away as I lift up, but we'll come down, have a look at some of these cells. See? Quite colourful cells in there. I probably could add another colour. Just wasn't too sure. I reckon a pink would actually work well with these two. Something just a bit different. And that's where the colours mixed. See this darker colour here? It's not really brown. It's kind of like a burnt... It's like a purple orange. I'm actually really pleased with the colour that it gave off. Was what my biggest worrying point was, to have a big brown artwork. But I'm going to leave it as it is. I think I've got nice lines. I've got cells. The colours look good. And it's actually appealing to me. So I'm thrilled. Orange and purple have worked. So I use orange and purple a lot, especially in the garden. I'm a horticulturalist, so I do a lot of plantings, and orange and purple work so well in a garden that I just love working with them. And I wanted to try it in artwork, but just worried about the little blending that you get. But this is it. So thanks everyone. Let me know what you think. And so like, share, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit all and hit the bell and click on all. So thanks everyone. Have a great night and I'll see you soon for another pour. Have fun. Bye.